Here's the largest 89 Batmobile I have. This is the 124 scale diecast by Jada. Of course, this is my favorite Batmobile, and it's a lot of people's favorite Batmobile, this 89 Michael Keaton version from the original Tim Burton movie. I thought I'd share it and talk about it because it is my favorite one, and in my opinion, one of the best. If you want a diecast 1989 Batmobile, and you're on a budget or you have, space restrictions, I would recommend this 124 one. There's also a 132, which is pretty good, but this one is a little bit better and it's not that much more expensive. Let me talk about the paint first. The paint on this Batmobile, in my opinion, is a perfect black. I know some people have this plastic McFarlane one and they complain about the paint, and I know some people have other versions of the Batmobile and they complain about the color, but the color here with this Jada 124 diecast is really just right. It's not super shiny and it's not too much of a flat black. It's just a nice mellow black that works perfectly with Batman. It did come with this scuff, so when I opened it, it had this scuff straight out of the factory, and this is now the second or third time I had something from Jada which had imperfections, and I didn't notice it when I bought it and it was just too late to return it. I wish I had noticed it earlier. In the back here there's a scratch, but I'm the one who did this. This is my own fault. The silver lining, I guess, is that the Batmobile is used to chase down villains, and so it would have some scuffs and scratches on it. It wouldn't always be in perfect condition. Other things to say about the paint and finish: you have the grayish highlights here, you have the gray on the left. Some models do this in silver and it's very shiny. I like the fact that this is more of a gunmetal gray or just a mellow gray. It's more Batman-ish. You also have the front here painted. I like that this is painted in orange and the lights are painted. Again, not all models will do this. And you have the red lights in the back. I like that it's not all black, so the engine here is a gunmetal gray, the rear exhaust is a gunmetal gray, these four tiny exhausts, these four pipes here in the back are a gunmetal gray, and that's good. That's a good thing. I don't like it when they just spray paint the whole thing black. The windows are the usual, nothing notable here, except that there is plastic here. So this is like a little mini window, and there's plastic here. This is also like a little mini window. And of course on the other side. That's pretty cool. A lot of models, they don't do this. So a lot of diecast cars that do this Batmobile, they just paint all of this black. There's no window here, there's no window here. It's just all black and it's all painted over. I do like that they do that. It gives it somewhat of a nicer look. You could see right through it. The rims are black and they come with this bat emblem right here in the middle. And you can see this emblem on all four rims. That's a nice touch. The tires are rubber, just as with the other Jada models. So this is rubber, front and back. And as you can see, the rear wheels are quite wide. Hey, let's talk about plastic parts. Of course, it is a die-cast vehicle, but there are some plastic parts. This part here is plastic. This thing is plastic on either side, so plastic here and plastic here. The front engine, this is plastic, this gunmetal part, and the rear exhaust is also plastic. Furthermore, these four little pipes, these secondary exhausts, they're plastic as well, as are the lights. So normally on a die-cast vehicle, they might paint the back right over the metal. However, here, this is not painted. This is actually, these are little plastic pieces that they put into the vehicle. So the lights are made of plastic, the rear lights. The same for the front. I believe that these are plastic inserts, so they inserted some plastic here in the front. I'm not 100% sure. It could just be painted over the metal. I'm not sure about the front, but the rear, the tail lights, they're definitely plastic. The other parts that are plastic is this canopy here and these two gun compartments. And I'll talk about that now. So the reason these are plastic is because they move. The canopy slides open and you can open it and look at the cockpit here. This is very flimsy though. I'm not too happy about the quality of this canopy. It's very easy to break, and it would have been better if they had used a thicker plastic, something harder and more sturdy. These two gun compartments here also move, so you could flip them and you can bust out the guns. Now these are made of plastic and they're not as flimsy as the canopy, but I could see this also breaking if you play with it too much, and you could already tell that it's really quite weak and doesn't really have much friction to it. But you could open this up like this and take out the guns, and that's pretty cool. I do like that. Keep in mind that with the guns out, if you have the guns out like this and you open this, this canopy will go over the guns, and so you can't put the guns back in while this is open. I wanted to mention this because it keeps this in place. It keeps it open. See, with the guns out, because it overlaps a little bit and there's a bit of friction, it won't close when you shake the car. However, if you put the guns in, so if you put the guns away, this, because it's so flimsy and weak, will actually open, and if you move it this way, it'll close. There is one more moving part which I'd like to show, and that's the back. So you could open the back here. This is die-cast, it's not plastic. You could open it up and get a better look at the rear exhaust. This pipe from which the fire shoots out, this is plastic, but it's kind of nice. The inside of the car looks okay. There's some detail there. You could see the 2 seats for Batman and Robin. You could see the center console. Let me see if I could get a better look here. Okay, so you see the control unit here in the center console, steering wheel, and dashboard. It's a little bit tight, so it's hard to see, but it is there. Let me now compare this car to the other 89 Batmobiles I have. I won't do an in-depth comparison. I'm just gonna put them side by side so you could see what they look like next to each other. On the very left is the Jada 124 scale diecast, followed by the Jada 132 scale diecast. Next to that, we'll put the Hot Wheels 150 scale diecast, a little bit smaller than the Jada. And next to the 150, we'll add the Hot Wheels 164 scale diecast. Next to the Hot Wheels 164 scale diecast is the Tomica diecast. This is also a diecast. It's a pretty good quality one, but it is significantly smaller than the Hot Wheels. And I did videos on all of these vehicles, so if you're really into this 89 Batmobile, you could just check out my other videos on these other models. I'm just putting them side by side so everyone can see what it looks like. This little tiny one here is a fake Batmobile. It says Tomica on it. It's supposed to be Tomica, but it's not. I got it online and it's just some fake diecast car. It doesn't even really roll very well, but I kept it, and here it is. And that's all of them right next to each other. All the 89 Batmobiles I have. I wish I had the space to get a 118 and put it next to this one, but I don't. If you do have the space and the money, I would recommend the Jada 118. Before I end the video, let's talk about this little guy. So this car comes with a die-cast figure as an added bonus. And believe it or not, it's a pretty good likeness of Michael Keaton. He does look like Michael Keaton. It's well painted, no issues with the paint, no deformities, the detail's pretty good. The cape is made of rubber or plastic, so it moves. The rest of it is made of die-cast. Obviously, there's no articulation. It's just a little figure you get as a bonus, so you can't expect too much. And that's really it. If you can't tell, this is obviously my favorite Batmobile, and I will continue to collect more of these if I can.